In 2024, I booked hundreds of appointments personally for medical spas and aesthetic practices. I had one client who had 45 showed appointments in a single month. I had a client who had $23,000 in tri-lift package sales in their first 35 days with us. And another client got 16.2K in package sales for a weight loss program we were selling in their first 34 days. And that was all thanks to Facebook ads. And so my promise to you is in this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate guide to Facebook ads for your medical spa or aesthetic practice. So if you are a med spa owner or aesthetic practice owner and you want to run ads yourself, you want to do it on your own, or you're just curious about how this process works and what it takes in order to be successful to run Facebook ads for your med spa, then this will be the video for you. So my name's Josh. I'm the founder of Wellness Leads. I specifically work with med spas, aesthetic practices, and wellness centers. I've spent hundreds of hours of my own time personally picking up the phone and calling medical spa leads. I've set appointments with those individuals, and I booked hundreds of qualified appointments up until this point. So what we're going to cover in this video is all of the different aspects of what makes running Facebook ads as a medical spa or aesthetic practice successful. And that breaks down into the opportunity audit, how to get people interested in what you are advertising, how to get leads from your ads, how to book appointments with those leads, how to make sure that they show up to their appointment, and then how to get them to buy treatment plans or packages. Now, starting off with the opportunity audit. The opportunity audit is as obvious as it sounds. We need to start off by figuring out what exactly your greatest opportunity is for running an advertising campaign. I found that typically that's going to be at the center point between what you need, so what you need more of as a business owner, what the market actually wants, so what your local market is currently purchasing, and what has upsell opportunities. So what has the opportunity to upsell into additional treatments or cross-sell into different treatments. So like I just said, you should select something that is at the center of what you need more of, what the market actually wants, and what has upsell opportunity. And this way you set yourself up to A, sell things that people actually want to buy, and B, sell things that will help your business grow. Now, obviously it doesn't make sense to advertise something that you have no capacity for, you can't upsell into something else, or the market doesn't want. And so the action item for this section is to jot down 2 or 3 opportunities that you believe would be a good advertising opportunity based on this here. Now, obviously, it's going to be more obvious for you what you actually need more of as a business owner, because you're probably going to be like, oh, I have an injector that has plenty of time on their calendar that we need to fill up or something like that. And what has upsell opportunity is going to be pretty obvious as well. What isn't as obvious is what the market actually wants. And so what does the market want? Well, as a med spa, it's hard to sell things that the market doesn't want. You're selling beauty. It's really not that hard, but you need to consider that people might want to achieve their desired look in different ways. So for example, we have injections, microneedling, laser. These are all different methods of achieving similar results. The best way to figure out what to sell is to first figure out what people are already buying. And so the way to do that is you can look at what offers sell on Groupon. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go advertise on Groupon, but you can look in your local area and see what medical spa related treatments are selling well on Groupon. You can look at your competitors' ads that have been running for a long time successfully. Competition is a good sign that something is working. Once you figure out what people are buying, all you have to do is better marketing than the med spas that they're buying it from. And that's what we're going to talk about how to do in this video as well. But the truth is that you don't want to enter uncharted waters, or you don't want to try to advertise something that doesn't have a lot of proof behind it. Like I've had situations where clients have wanted to advertise very high ticket, high end treatments for devices that nobody has ever heard of. And it was very difficult to find any successful marketing behind those treatments. Now, although you might look at your competitors and be like, oh, well, I don't want to just compete with all the people around me. I want to do something completely different. I would recommend against that, because usually what competition means is that it's working well. And so we just have to outmarket your local competition. So after we've identified some opportunities of what we believe is going to be a good treatment or a good service to advertise, the next thing we need to do is get people interested in our treatments. And the first step of this is creating an offer. Now that you've identified some opportunities, you can create your offer. The offer is the most important part of your ads. The offer is going to make or break the success of your campaign. Now, to truly understand the importance of your offer, I would argue that your offer is way more important than any sales strategy or in-person process or trick or hack that you have. And the offer is also way more important than any marketing activity that you do. And to just nail this point home, imagine Apple ran an ad on Facebook offering 20 free iPhones for the next 20 people who submit their name, email, and phone number on that ad. Do they have to try really hard to sell those iPhones? Like, do they have to get people on a sales call and try to convince them to take one of the free iPhones? Do they have to have like incredible imagery, incredible videos, and incredible copy on their ads themselves? No, they could probably post an ad that was just black text on a white background and basically say, we're giving away 20 iPhones, submit your information below. That ad would probably fill up in seconds. Now, obviously this is incredibly impractical, but it does illustrate the importance of your offer, right? The quality and the quality of your offer will determine how well your ad campaign performs. Now, a very common offer mistake that I see a lot of medical spas make is that when they're running ads, they try to advertise their services and they don't try to advertise an offer. So what's the difference between your services and an offer? Well, your service is literally what you do. So it's the injectables, the skincare, the laser, the body sculpting. The service typically focuses on features. So your advanced equipment, your skilled practitioners, your FDA approved treatments, and it also emphasizes the process of your work. Now, your offer, on the other hand, is what they are actually getting. So for example, your service would be injectables, but your offer would be 20 units of Botox for $179, for example. The offer focuses on the terms of the agreement. So this month only, the next 12 people, includes these 2 bonuses, and we have this guarantee. And it also emphasizes the outcome that the clients care about rather than just focusing on the process of your work. I see countless med spas boosting posts on Instagram that are just a big laundry list of your services, how awesome you are, and that everybody should book an appointment with us because we're so awesome. This is running ads to your services. And if your goal is to turn strangers into new clients, it's also completely useless and probably a big waste of your advertising budget. When you run ads to an offer, strangers pay attention. You can still talk about the service and you can still talk about its features in your ad, but that should be secondary to the offer. Your offer is way more important. But the question is, why use an offer in the first place? Well, when we advertise to strangers who don't know, like, or trust you. They're scrolling on social media and they have no intention of submitting their information on an ad. Now, because of that, we need to put something so good in front of them that they would feel stupid saying no. Do you really think that a laundry list of your services and how awesome you are is going to be enough to get a stranger to stop doom scrolling on Instagram or on Facebook to book an appointment with you? What would you say is better? Hey, we do Botox, you should come in and get a Botox treatment with us. Or, hey, we have this amazing wrinkle rescue package, which includes tox injections, a bonus lip flip, and it's only for the next 17 people, and we're only doing it for this month. Obviously, the second one is going to get way more people interested. Now, key note here is that you want to use your advantages wisely. As a local business, you have one of the biggest advantages that you could ever have in business, which is trust. Like I said before, we're advertising to strangers who do not trust you yet. But the fact that you're local to them boosts your trust levels with them immediately. And the reason for that is because 2 different biases. The first one is called the in-group bias. This is the tendency to favor and trust people who are a part of our own group, which can also include geographic communities. So just by someone simply living in your same area, we just tend to trust them. And then also the proximity bias. This says that people tend to trust, feel more familiar with, or favor those who are physically closer to them. So physically closer to them. Proximity often correlates with shared experiences, cultural norms, and values. And so we tend to like and trust those individuals more. So the people that are scrolling on social media, their natural level of trust is already heightened with you. And so you don't have to sell people the idea that you're this trustworthy business that's been in business for X amount of years. And we have these amazing, incredible certifications and our doctor is so awesome. Because honestly, just mentioning that you're based in their local area is likely enough to at least get people interested. And because of that, to stand out from all of your competitors who also have that advantage, you should make your ad very offer driven. Now, how do we create an offer? Well, the offer breaks down into these 5 different components. So it breaks down into what they actually get and the terms of the agreement, the bonuses that we're going to include, the scarcity and urgency of the offer, the guarantee that we attach to it, and the name that we give our offer. So first off, what they get and the terms of the agreement. I like to get a lay of the land first. I'll usually research other med spas advertising to see what they're giving away or what they're offering in their ad. For example, if you go onto Facebook ads library and you type in Botox, you're probably going to get thousands of results. And then from there, I'll try to find something that we can give away and at least break even from there. The upfront offer isn't going to be where you make your money. It's the purchases that follow the upfront offer. The treatment plans and the packages is where you truly make your profit. So this could be 10 units of Botox for $97, 20 units for $179, $10 a unit, new customers only. And I know I'm really focusing on Botox specifically, but this works for just about anything. You could type in body sculpting. You could go and figure these things out. The terms of the agreement are simply what must be true in order for someone to qualify for the offer. So new customers only, minimum purchase required, etc. Now, the key here is to not copy. The purpose of researching other advertisements is not to copy their offer. The purpose is to understand what is currently working in the marketplace. And then the key is asking yourself, how can we make this better, or how can we make this unique? Entering the market with an identical offer as your competitor is just a race to the bottom, because you're both just going to continue to lower your price in order to be the one that stands out. And we don't want to be in a price war with other people. Now, after we figured out, what they're getting and the terms of the agreement, the next part is the bonuses. So bonuses make offers feel exclusive and special. So 20 units of Botox for $179 is great, but 20 units plus a lip flip plus a red light therapy treatment is even better. The best bonuses are low in cost to you as a business owner, but they're high in value to the customer. Next, we can label a level on scarcity and urgency. Scarcity is just having a limited amount that we're giving away. Urgency is, hey, this doesn't last forever. Our fear of missing out is a lot greater than our desire for the thing itself. Scarcity and urgency can be as simple as understanding how many time slots your injector has left this month, or how many time slots your provider has left this month, and saying that in your ad, right? So just make that information public. So, hey, we only have 17 vouchers that we can give away this month. You can also use urgency by rotating promotions. So you can state that this promotion ends at the end of this month, and then at the end of the month, you can just rotate in a brand new promotion just to keep it fresh. Next, you can put in a guarantee. So strangers perceive a very high level of risk when they're engaging with a new company. They're thinking, what if they botch my results? What if this takes super long? What if it hurts? What if it doesn't work for me? Even though you shoulder risk as a business, your potential clients do not care. They don't think about you. They only are thinking about themselves and their own concerns. And so it helps to alleviate some of that perceived risk with a guarantee. So for example, if you aren't 100% satisfied with your results after 14 days, let us know and we'll give you a bonus treatment on us. The biggest fear with a guarantee is that people are going to take advantage of you. But the key to not getting taken advantage of with the guarantee is that you don't guarantee something that you can't fulfill on, and you give people an amazing experience. Even with subjective guarantees like satisfaction, people will only ask for the guarantee if they truly had a very bad experience. Next is the name. So giving your offer a name is like putting a bow on a present. It just kind of wraps it up nicely and it turns it into something unique that none of your other competitors are offering. And it also just makes you less comparable to the other people. So if we put it all together, the offer equation is what they get and the terms of the agreement, plus the bonuses that we include, plus the scarcity and urgency that we put on, plus the guarantee that we layer in, and plus the name that we give it. And that will leave us with our offer. To give you an example, our wrinkle renewal package could be something like 20 units of Botox for $179, plus a bonus lip flip, plus a skin assessment and consultation. It's available for the next 17 people this month only. And if you don't love your results after 14 days, we'll give you an additional treatment for free. Now, key note here is that people love free. One of the most powerful words in the English language is free. Free gets people's attention, and coming up with creative ways to use the word free in your ads will set you apart from other med spas. So for example, you could include free bonuses, free treatments as a part of your guarantee. You could give something away for free with the purchase of something else. You could give something away completely for free. All you have to do is just pay for the doctor's time for the consultation. Everybody loves free, including affluent people who are willing to spend spend money on treatments. So free gets everyone's attention, and you can use that to your advantage to get more people interested in your offer. Now, the next step of getting people interested is the ad itself. So like I mentioned before, everything is secondary to your offer. The offer is the most important, but you can enhance the effectiveness of your offer by creating an attention-grabbing ad. Now, the components of the ad itself, if I just go back and forth here, are ads on Facebook and Instagram typically break down into the ad copy, the ad creative, the headline, the description, the call to action, and the destination that we send people. So first off, the ad copy, these are just the words that appear above or below your image or your video. It looks like this on the ad. The goal is to get your audience's attention with the first 1 to 2 sentences of your copy. The first 1 to 2 sentences should be compelling enough that they would stop scrolling, stop doing what they're doing to read more of what you have to say. A very popular copywriter named Joe Sugarman said something along the lines of, the goal of the first sentence is to get them to read the second sentence. The goal of the second sentence is to get them to read the third, so on and so forth. And so you almost want to kind of envision your copy as being like a slippery slope or like a slippery slide, where we get people's attention and we get them super curious and they're like, I gotta read the next sentence, and then they just continue to kind of fall deeper and deeper into the ad itself. Since your ad is going to be mostly offer driven, you can keep the copy super simple, and you can use a framework like this. You can start off the ad by calling out your target audience. So, hey, Fresno ladies. You can then state the offer, you can state the terms of the offer, name some of the benefits of the treatment, and then give a clear call to action, such as click the learn more button below to claim your offer or claim your voucher. You can keep it super simple like that. The next part of the ad is the ad creative. So this is the actual image or the video that goes along with your ad. Although everyone is super video crazy, I would recommend testing videos and images. Sometimes the ad that you least expect to work is the one that works the best. So I like to take a throw things at the wall and see what sticks approach, where we're going to test out like a demo video of the treatment. We're going to test out a stock video with maybe some text over top of it. We're going to create some graphics. We're going to maybe just run an ad as like an image of the provider itself. And we're just going to let Facebook figure it out. Facebook is way smarter than you and me. And so it's a lot better to just upload a whole bunch of stuff into your campaign. And then Facebook is going to allocate your budget into the ads that they believe are going to work the best. And then a lot of the times that is what's going to work the best for you. The next step is the headline. The headline is just the little line of text right underneath your image or your video. Usually people are going to notice your ad creative first, so the image or the video is what's going to get their attention and get them to stop scrolling. And then the thing that they look at after that is either going to be the headline or the first sentence of your copy. So the headline needs to create enough curiosity to get people to go, I think I want to read more on this ad, or get them so curious that they want to click the button to see what it's all about. Most of the time, just restating your offer as your headline is going to work great. So something like free Botox at 123 Med Spa, timeless beauty package, now just $199, unlimited hair removal, just $199, right? So people see these things and they're like, what exactly does that mean? Like, I want to learn more about what that all entails. Next is the description. That's the little line of text underneath the headline. Honestly, you can leave it blank, or you could put something in there like 5-star rated, new patients only. It really doesn't matter. The description is not super important. Then the next is the call to action. That's the little button that you decide to use on your ad. I usually just use the learn more button that Facebook gives you, but you can feel free to test other ones. You basically just want to make sure that people know what is the next step. Tell them what to do next, which is learn more, download, something like that. And then finally, the destination. The destination is the place that we are going to send people when they click on the ad. So there's usually going to be two places that you send people. The first one is a Facebook lead form, which looks something like this. This is where when someone clicks on your ad, it pops up a little form for them to fill out their name, email, and phone number to indicate that they're interested in your offer. And that all happens right within Facebook. So they don't even have to leave Facebook or Instagram. They can just submit their information right on there. The second place is a landing page. A landing page is a separate page on your website that when people click on your ad, they're going to be brought to that page, and that page should have one singular focus of what you want them to do. So for our example, it might be claim your voucher, book now, something like that. Like as an example for this one, it says shop body balance powder. So I'm assuming that with this landing page, this company wants people to click the shop button here and then go look for that balance powder. That's kind of how the landing page works. We want to have one singular focus for what we want people to do on that landing page. Which you use, so whether you're going to use a Facebook lead form or a landing page, it really depends on the complexity of your offer. For something straightforward, such as like, hey, pay us this and you get this. So like, for example, 10 units of Botox for $97, running ads to a Facebook lead form is probably going to do the trick. I would then also connect your lead form on Facebook to a landing page where people can either schedule a call with your team or they can request an appointment time with your team. So for example, as you can see on the very last page of the lead form, it says, wait, you're not done yet. Click the button to schedule. And then there's an opportunity to click this button. When you click that button, it brings you to a separate page where you can then schedule an intro call with your team, or you can schedule the appointment itself. And so I would definitely recommend doing that. For a more complex offer, such as like, hey, free with purchase, minimum purchase required, or if you're trying to run ads to a less known treatment, I would use a landing page. A landing page gives you the opportunity to educate your leads. And so a really great question to ask is, what would I need to know in order to make an informed decision whether or not I wanted to purchase this offer? So put yourself in their shoes and ask yourselves, what are all the pieces of information that would make me feel comfortable and confident in making the decision to submit my information for this offer and get on the phone with this company. There's several places that you can actually educate your leads. You can educate them on the ad, where the main goal of the ad is to just get people to click. You can educate them on the landing page, where your goal is to get their information, to get them to submit their information. You can educate in your follow-up. So that's like the calls and the texts and the emails. This is where your main goal is to get them to pick up the phone. You can educate on the phone call itself, and the main goal on the phone call is to get them to schedule an appointment, or you can educate during the consultation, where the main goal is to get them to buy. You want to be strategic about when and where you educate people, and also what you are educating them about. Educating about certain things too early in the process might scare some people away, again, completely depending on the offer. So you probably don't want to go super deep into like what your package pricing is in the ad itself, because you're just going to repel people before you've ever even had the opportunity to talk to them. But it makes a lot more sense to reveal your package pricing in the consultation, or on the landing page. It makes a lot more sense to educate people on like, what is the treatment? How does it work? What are the benefits? Why are we the best choice for you? And it might not make a lot of sense for you to go into your package pricing on the landing page. And so you just want to be strategic about where you are educating people in this process. We have to remember that most people, when they submit their information, they are not ready to purchase. They still need to be educated, and they still need to be informed so that they feel like they can make a decision that is best for them. And so we want to participate in that by being the one that educates them and being the one that informs them on what things are necessary to know in order for them to make a decision. Now, the next step is getting leads. So you have your offer, you've created your ads, you've figured out the headline, the description, all that fun stuff. The next part is, how do we actually get the leads? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because Facebook makes it super easy. You can basically just go into Facebook's ad platform, and you can hit the create a new campaign button, and you can create a lead campaign. And then it's pretty much going to walk you through the steps of uploading your image, uploading your copy. Now, of course, there are some small nuances that you want to be careful of, or you want to know when you're setting up the ad campaign, but it's really not a good use of either of our time for me to go over that in this video, because it's really not that complex. Getting the leads or setting up the ad campaign in Facebook is probably the easiest part of this whole process. And so, we're not going to go too deep into that in this video. The next step is booking appointments. So something like 70% of the leads that you generate aren't ready to book at the time that they submit their information, right? So that means that of the people who literally put their name, email, and phone number to say, I'm interested in this thing, 70% of those people are not ready to book with you when they submit their information, which doesn't make any sense to us, right? They put their information in, which means they're ready to book, right? That would be the most logical thing. Unfortunately, that's not how humans work. For most people, submitting their information is just a signal of interest. It is not a signal of someone being ready to purchase or of someone being ready to book an appointment. This is an important mindset shift to have, because if you go into this with the mindset that you can call your leads once, or you can text your leads once, and if they didn't pick up, oh, they just weren't that serious, they're not a serious lead, you are never going to succeed with your ads. Most people are doing just fine without your med spa. They submit their information on your ad not because they currently feel this like super deep uncomfortable pain and they need to get this problem solved immediately, but because they think that your offer would be nice to have. Like, oh, that sounds cool, I might as well get some more information on that. So it is our job to widen the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, so that they can feel that pain, and the pain that they feel is what actually motivates their action of booking the appointment. And so we've all heard the concept of the carrot and the stick, right? And so it's like, what motivates people more? Well, the truth is that what we desire and the goals and the things that we want motivate us a lot, and also the stick motivates us a lot. So what things are we trying to avoid? What painful problems or issues are we trying to avoid? And so we need to understand that and help people understand what are your desires and what things are you trying to avoid, so that we can get them to book the appointment. So your number one goal of booking appointments is to get people on the phone. Everything you do after someone becomes a lead should get them one step closer to getting on the phone with you. The phone is where you actually widen that gap and inflate their pain. And like I said before, pain is what motivates them to take action. I rarely ever book appointments over text, even if someone asks us. So if someone texts us and says, hey, could we just book the appointment over text? A lot of the times we'll just say, sorry, we don't do it that way. It's been my experience that show rates plummet if someone hasn't had the chance to speak with a real human being over the phone. So the question is, how do we get these leads on the phone? Well, we need to text them, call them, and email them. So we need to communicate with them and get in touch with them. The two most important factors to increasing your likelihood of getting in touch with people and getting them to pick up the phone are speed and quantity of contact. So speed being how long in between when they submit their information and when we actually reach out to them. And then quantity of contacts just being how many times do we reach out to them over calling, texting, and emailing. So just to explain the speed idea here, there was a Harvard Business Review study, which is absolutely insane to me, but 400%, there was a 400% decrease in odds of qualifying if you make contact after 10 minutes rather than 5 minutes. So in other words, if you wait 10 minutes to reach out to your leads, the chances that you get in touch with that person decrease by 400% as compared to if you were to get in touch with them in just 5 minutes. Isn't that insane, right? That is such a big decrease, and that's why speed is so important. And so we really want to try to get in touch with our leads within 5 minutes by picking up the phone and calling them. The next step here is the quantity of contacts. Again, that same Harvard Business Review study, which really blows my mind, is the chance of contact increases to 90% after 6 call attempts. So that means that it might take you up to 6 call attempts in order to get in touch with somebody. And that's why if you call someone once or twice, you're leaving so many opportunities on the table. And I can attest to this as well, because I'm very involved in the calling process. So there are so many leads that it took 5 calls or 6 calls in order for us to get in touch with them and book the appointment. And I'm always like, man, I'm really glad we didn't give up on that lead. Now, next, the content of the text that you're sending people. So no matter what text we send, the main call to action in these texts should be to find a time to chat over the phone. If they ask a question over text, we're still going to redirect them to the phone call. So if they're like, what's the offer? How does the treatment work? We might send them like a quick 1-sentence explanation of how it works, but then we're ultimately going to say, we'd love to explore if this is a good fit for your aesthetic goals. When would be a good time to reach you over the phone? Right. So we're always trying to push people to get on the phone. And then again, if they send us a text and they request for us to call them today at 3 p.m., we're going to do our best to call them today at 3 p.m. because we want to make sure that we're reaching people when they are available. So what happens when they pick up? So congratulations, you made contact, you got somebody to pick up the phone, but this phone call isn't as simple as just booking somebody in for their appointment. So we don't want to pick up and just be like, hey, we saw you were interested in the thing. When would you like to come in? Unless they're clearly motivated to book. Like if you get somebody on the phone and they're like, yeah, I wanted to schedule for the thing, then just schedule them. Like don't get in your own way. But most people at this point are still in info gathering mode. And so it's our job to, again, widen that gap between where they are now and where they want to be. And then and only then will they feel the motivation to schedule, and that's when it's the appropriate time to ask them to schedule. The way that we widen this gap is by asking discovery questions over the phone. So, hey, what got you interested in this promotion? What areas are you most interested in focusing on? Have you tried aesthetic treatments in the past? How are the results with those treatments? How long have you been thinking about addressing this issue? Only once you've extracted this information should you explain your process, explain your offer, and attempt to book the appointment with them. It's also best to book people within a few days of your conversation to increase show rates. So if you're waiting a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out to get people on the calendar, the likelihood that they show up is going to plummet. And so you really want to try to get people in as soon as possible after you've had that conversation with them. Now, I want to give you a super secret, but also a super awesome phone call tactic. So I'm going to nerd out a little bit on human psychology for a second. Feel free to skip this part if you're not interested. But according to Robert Cialdini, who is a best-selling author on the topic of influence and persuasion, humans have a deep desire to remain consistent with their self-image. So if someone verbally agrees to an aspect of their self-image that aligns with the action that we want them to take, such as booking an appointment, it is much more likely that they're going to be willing to take that action. So that probably sounds just like a whole bunch of jargon. And so let me explain with a quick example. There was this new soft beverage company that wanted to give out free samples in exchange for somebody's email address. So like, hey, give us your email and we'll give you a free sample of our soft beverage, right? They initially would just go up to people on the street and say, hey, would you like to try our drink? And the take rates for that were about 25%. So not terrible, but not great either. So what they did is they switched their strategy. They started by asking a question first, such as, hey, would you consider yourself to be an adventurous person? Or, hey, are you the type of person who likes to try new things? And then, of course, nearly 100% of people are going to say yes to these things, because it's very rare that someone would be like, no, I'm not the type of person that likes to try new things. Then when they ask if they'd like to try the drink after they've asked this question, the take rates shot up to like around 75%. So it would be against the beliefs that they hold about themselves to not try the drink after they've admitted that they're someone who likes to try new things, right? And so enough nerding out. How do we actually use this to book more appointments for your medical spa or aesthetic practice? Before explaining your offer over the phone and asking someone when they would like to book in their appointment, what you can do is you can insert a strategic question, such as, hey, would you consider yourself the type of person who prioritizes long-lasting results with your aesthetic treatments? Or, hey, would you say that your aesthetic or your beauty goals are a priority in 2025? Now it's much easier to transition to your pitch, and them not booking an appointment will directly contradict the trait that they just labeled themselves with. So for example, if someone says, yes, my aesthetic or my beauty goals are a priority in 2025, and then all of a sudden you're like, great, well, here's this amazing offer we think is going to really help you prioritize your aesthetic and your beauty goals. Now, all of a sudden they're like, well, I can't go against what I just said because that's a complete contradiction of the self-image that I have, that I hold about myself. And so just by inserting strategic questions like this, you can drastically improve the likelihood that people are going to be willing to book an appointment. Now, getting them to show up. Congratulations, you've gotten someone to book an appointment. If someone agrees to book, their interest is at an all-time high, but very quickly, real life starts to set back in. They start to get these fears and these doubts and these uncertainties about the appointment. And so it's our job to silence those fears and do everything in our power to increase the likelihood of them showing up for their appointment. And the truth is that the way that to get people to show up, it all starts on the phone. So getting people to show up isn't just about sending them a whole bunch of reminders. It starts on the phone call itself. After you found a date and a time for someone, we still need to get a deeper level of commitment from them. There's a lot of ways to do this, but I like to do it in a couple ways here. The first way is to send them the confirmation text for the appointment while you're still on the phone with them and ask them to confirm that text. So while we're on the phone with somebody, we'll be like, hey, sounds great. We'll see you Saturday at 4 p.m. We're going to shoot you over the confirmation text real quick. Could you just confirm that text once you get it? And then they'll be like, sure, yeah, I can confirm the text. And you'll be like, all right, great. I'm just going to shoot that through real quick. Just give me 1 second. Let me know when you get that text. And then once they get it, we're going to go, awesome, great. And could you just respond to that text with the word yes? I just want to make sure that we're getting your text in case you have any like questions or anything before the appointment. Then what we've done is we've gotten another layer of confirmation and another layer of commitment from them. The next thing that I like to do is alert them that we're going to send them reminders. So I'll just be like, hey, just as a heads up, we're going to send you a couple reminders just so that we can hold up our end of the bargain. Is that okay? They'll say, yes, of course. And the third thing I like to do is alert them that we're going to send them a confirmation text a day or two before the appointment and to please look out for it. So it'll be like, also, our providers are super busy right now. And so what we're going to do is we'll send you a text like a day or two before the appointment just to confirm you can still make it. Would you mind just keeping a lookout for that confirmation text? And again, of course, they're going to be like, yeah, of course, I'll keep a lookout for the confirmation text. The goal here is to deepen their commitment to the appointment by what I like to call stacking yeses. So we're trying to get people to say yes in as many ways as possible. So when they text us and they say, yes, I'll come to the appointment. When they say, yes, I'm okay with you sending me reminders. When they say, yes, I'll take a look out for that confirmation text a few days before, we're just stacking yeses to get a deeper level of commitment from them. Now, it all starts on the phone to get people to show up, but it's amplified in your reminder process. So you should have like a pretty standard reminder process through text or through email. These are going to be like your automated reminders that are clearly automated, right? We're not trying to deceive anyone into believing that a human texted these things. Like a lot of the times I'll put in the text like auto confirmation or auto reminders just so that people know this is a machine sending you this text. But to increase the excitement for the appointment, we're also going to weave in a few things. So I like to weave in pre-appointment resources or frequently asked questions. I like to send over social media accounts so people can take a look and get familiar with your brand. I like to send over before and after pictures to get people super excited. And then on top of all of these automated reminders, you can also layer in manual reminders. And this is going to be like the real key to getting people to show up. The contrast between your automated reminders that say like auto reminder and the manual reminders where it looks like it's a human actually sending the text, it's going to be so big that they're going to think, oh wow, like this med spa or this person is really putting a lot of effort into this, so I have to show up to this appointment. The day before confirmation that we typically send, so when we send them a text and we're like, hey, we're prepping for your appointment right now, we're so excited, we just wanted to confirm you're still good for this Saturday at 11 a.m. right? When we send that kind of text, it's usually going to be a handwritten text, so like a person is going to actually type that out. On top of that, if you really want to juice this strategy up, you can also include a hidden bonus and handwrite a text to this person a few days before that says something like, hey, we thought we'd just throw in this XYZ bonus treatment for you just so that we can help you get the best results possible. Can't wait to see you soon. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, they're giving me all this amazing stuff. They're thinking about me. And then it just increases the likelihood that people are going to show up. And if this text clearly looks like a human typed it and it wasn't a robot that sent out the text, then it is going to be much more effective in getting people to show up. Now, the question to take a deposit or to not take a deposit, your show rates are going to be very high if you only use the strategies that I mentioned above. But if for whatever reason you just can't stomach any show rate that's lower than 100%, then you can absolutely collect a deposit. Just expect to have less bookings when you collect a deposit because less people are going to be willing to pay it. I do deposits for some clients and I also take no deposit for, I don't do a deposit for other clients. Usually the clients who require us to take a deposit, they just see less bookings overall. And so if for whatever reason you're like, I couldn't possibly have a 90% show rate, it needs to be 100%, then sure, you should take a deposit. But if you want to increase the amount of bookings that you have overall, then I would recommend just not taking a deposit. Now, getting them to buy. So you can do everything right and none of it matters if you cannot get people to buy. And I'm not just talking about getting people to buy the offer. I'm talking about getting people to buy a treatment plan or a package. Sales is a skill that most providers neglect. They expect the offer to do all of the heavy lifting for them and for prospects to just walk into their office with bright eyes and a big smile and say yes to every single thing that they propose. But it is your job to widen that gap between where they are and where they want to be and create enough pain to get them to prioritize buying a treatment plan or a package from you. It is very rare that you're going to get a lay down prospect who just walks in with thousands of dollars in hand, ready to invest in your treatment plans or packages without any type of convincing. Now, the key here to getting people to buy is to practice. Sales is a skill and it gets better with practice. Sales is arguably the most important skill a provider could have because it is the closest skill to the money. There is no other skill that you could master in your business that will bring you a greater reward in terms of like a monetary reward. Whoever does consultations, it is absolutely worth practicing. The golden standard here that I actually learned from one of my mentors is that you always want to try to have at least 5 consultations per week. So whether that means that you're taking 5 real consultations or you're taking a mixture of real and mock consultations, you really want to be practicing. And I would even recommend, even if it's just like 15, 30 minutes a day, I would recommend sitting down and practicing your consultation skills so you can practice objection handling. You can practice how you ask the questions. You can practice how you transition from asking the questions to explaining the treatment plan. You can practice explaining the treatment plan. These are things that you should do on a daily basis. Now, the question is, how do I actually sell? How do I run the consultation? That is way too big of a topic to go over in this video, but I do have a video on YouTube called The Proven Medical Spa Sales Process for Selling Treatment Plans and Packages that goes into how to run your consultation and how to set up your environment so that you can sell more. And then I also have another video called Sell 10 Times More Med Spa Treatments Without Being Salesy. That's another good one to watch. just to give you a basic overview of the process, we want to identify their problems and the implications of those problems. We want to identify what their desires are and what their goals are. We want to make our pitch, and the way that I recommend typically doing that is what's called the 3 pillars pitch. This is where we divide our pitch, or the way that we explain the treatment plan or the package, up into 3 different sections. And those 3 different sections could be like what we do before we start treating you to make sure that you're prepped and ready to go, how the treatment works, and then how we make sure that your results are long lasting afterwards, something like that. Then from there, after we've delivered our pitch, we want to handle objections. So if someone says it's too much money, or now's not a good time, or I need to think about it, or I need to talk to my spouse, we want to make sure we handle those objections. And then we want to also reinforce their decision. So once somebody decides, okay, I want to move forward with this, we want to make them feel like they just made the best decision in their life as quickly as we possibly can. So you can set systems in place so that after someone decides that they're going to move forward, you make them feel truly special. Each of these steps has tiny micro steps, but you just remember to keep it simple. Try to make 1% improvements in each conversation that you have, and practice a lot. Like, practice as much as you can. You want to be able to answer the following question before you ever make a pitch to somebody, which is, what is the difference between this person's current state and their desired end state? What has prevented them from closing that gap before now? Why is it important to close that gap right now? And why do you see our solution as the best solution for you? If you have an answer to this question, then that means that you've done enough discovery that you can transition into explaining your treatment plan or your package. Now, on top of all that, it all comes back to the offer, as always. Like I said earlier, your offer is more important than your sales skills. Your treatment plan or your package should be an irresistible offer as well. So you can use the previous part of this video where I talked about how to develop an offer to put together packages and treatment plans that someone would feel stupid saying no to. So you can use all of those same rules to create an irresistible offer where someone's like, man, that package deal or that treatment plan is so good. Like, that's such a great deal that I would feel stupid saying no to that. And that is the effect that you want to have. So what's next? This was obviously a lot of information. So if you'd like all of this completely done for you, so if you'd like someone to research your market for you, develop your offer for you, create your ads for you, run your ads for you, book your appointments for you, and make sure that those people show up for you, all the while helping you improve your sales skills and your team sales skills, then what I'd recommend you do is go to wellnessleads.co. We currently guarantee 10 to 20 qualified appointments that actually show up every single month. And if we don't get you that result, then you don't pay us a single dime. So if that sounds like something that would even be remotely interesting, head over to wellnessleads.co, watch the video on that homepage. Then after you've watched the video, there's a button underneath that video where you can book a time to chat directly with me, and then we can explore if it's even a good fit. If it's not, I'll tell you, and I can send you off with some resources, and that's totally fine. But if it is, then we could discuss what that could potentially look like. So hope this video is helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.